WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. State unemployment benefits continue to be paid out to Mississippians still out of work, but the added $600 federal payment has ended, leaving many Americans and North Mississippians scared right now. Our Stephanie Poole explains how some could be left without a roof over their heads.
This is the last week the $600 unemployment benefit checks will be dispersed, with several families already facing evictions. Here at Aberdeen Housing Authority, Executive Director Denise Dobbs says staff members are trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
Especially now, for those that need help, we are allowing them to defer their rental payments. Extend it out through at least 12 months if they need it. If not, we can shorten it down. However we need to accommodate the residents, that's what we're doing.
Dobbs says rental criteria hasn't changed, but the agency is double checking paperwork.
We have to do some things a little extra to get someone moved in now, but as far as the criteria, nothing has changed. We're going to try to work with them as much as possible. Going to look at everybody on a case-by-case basis to, allow everybody to keep their home.
Housing manager Debbie Mahaney says due to the pandemic, a few tenants are facing the fear of losing the place they call home.
We've had 10 families out of 109 that faced hardship, and we've worked with 8 of them already and got them situated. All the landlords should try to accommodate them somehow, at least give them a chance to pay partial rent, a quarter of their rent, something.
Co-owner of Cry Leak Properties Unlimited, Herbert Williams, believes it's an issue that will keep growing.
I am pretty sure that's all over the nation. And it's sad because some of these people are getting the extra check every week. So they actually have the money to pay rent.
September is when these rental agencies believe most people will be in dire need. Williams says some of the strain on the housing market could be avoided.
Those people were making their car payments, their rent payments, their phone bills, everything. So there is a small group that took advantage of that bill, the COVID-19 bill, but the vast majority of the people have not.
Reporting in the Golden Triangle, Stephanie Poole, WCBI News.
Now, congressional leaders are debating whether they'll continue the program potential with less money to supplement the state benefits. One proposal is to make it an added $200 instead of $600. Now, until a decision is made, 2 families Courtney Ann Jackson speaks with is unsure what exactly they're going to do financially. She shares how it's impacting them.
Amy Benjamin has 6 kids. She and one of her children had COVID-19 in March and are still feeling the long-term effects. Her husband lost his job of more than 10 years at a factory in Tupelo around the same time.
The unemployment and the pandemic money had gone to pay our bills through that time. Now that we don't have that money or employment, the options are very small, very limited as to what our choices are.
That's because their weekly payments have taken a drastic cut. Amy had been part-time pre-COVID and her husband full-time, but the added $600 they were each getting allowed them to get by.
The stability we have really is in our home, because this is the only home my children, my youngest ones, have ever even known. And it's very scary to not know that we can still be here a month from now, 2 months from now.
Crispin Watson is also scared. She's the single mom of 2.
I was working for a Fortune 500 company, a major credit card company. I was actually working from home. So COVID happened, I got laid off.
The added $600 was helping her pay the bills while she looked for something new.
A ton of interviews, but nothing really came through. A ton at the beginning of COVID, but like now it's definitely slowed down, and I'm just at a point I don't know what's going to happen.
With the kids, she has other factors she's trying to weigh, all while figuring out how much the little she was able to save will last them.
Trying to find a job to where I can be at home with my kid at the same time. Definitely can't afford daycare right now.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
We had a great sunset across our region tonight. Check out our time lapse for downtown Tupelo. You can see some of that color there on the horizon. Hopefully you took advantage and saw some of it. Here in the Columbus area, a little pop of pink and orange. Always nice to see. We've had a few downpours linger this evening. The last one really falling apart west of Eupora, and that's probably just about it. Here's our first alert forecast for tomorrow. We've got a dapper dude right here, Bo, getting all dressed up for another sultry day here tomorrow. You need the umbrella. He needs one. We need one. We'll have more of those pop-up showers and storms around here. Maybe a little bit of fog early when you wake up, but as we go throughout the course of the day, just like today, highs will be in the mid to upper 80s with some heavier downpours from time to time. Your full 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Keith, thanks so much. Well, the services for fallen Monroe County Deputy Dylan Pickle have been set. Hearts continue to hurt just days after Dylan Pickle was killed in that tragic accident while on duty. It happened over the weekend. There will be a graveside service open to the public Thursday at 3 in the afternoon. It'll be held at the Houghton Memorial Park there in Amory. People are asked to wear a mask and social distance. Memorials can be made to the Monroe County Sheriff's Department or the Dylan Pickle Memorial account at Renaissance Bank in Amory. The 24-year-old died this past weekend after being hit by a car at a safety checkpoint in Hamilton. Well, Monroe County Deputy Dylan Pickle, he's being remembered in a special way there in downtown Amory. Amory Main Street is displaying U.S. flags throughout the downtown district. Now, below each flag, blue ribbons are being placed in honor of him. Tara Farnham owns Corner Flowers and Gifts and says that requests for the memorial ribbons started coming in just hours after Deputy Pickle was killed when a car hit him at that safety checkpoint. Farnham says she is proud to live in a caring and compassionate community.
Very blessed to live in a small town that does support each other, and especially in a tragic like this. It's just we may have our differences, you know, individually, but everybody comes together for sure for something like this.
Many businesses throughout the county have signs honoring the memory of Deputy Pickle. Deputy Zach Wilbanks, he was also struck by the same car at that checkpoint. He continues his recovery at NMMC there in Tupelo. A young man from Florida is running for fallen Deputy Pickle. Zechariah Cartledge, he's from Orlando. He runs for fallen law officers across the nation. And we first met Zechariah last year when he ran in honor of Chickasaw County Deputy Jeremy Voiles. Yesterday, Zechariah posted this video and a message to Facebook as he went for a run in honor of Deputy Pickle. Zechariah says that he hopes Dylan's friends and family find comfort in knowing that Dylan is thought of so many miles and miles away.
I just hope the families and the friends of this volunteer that I'm running for are healing to my run, finding comfort in my run, and I just want at least a little joy to go through their minds through the 7 minutes of my run. And I hope that's what they're thinking too.
July 26, 2020.
Now, Dylan's mom will be getting that flag that you see Zechariah there with. Zechariah started this run last year. So far, he's run over 560 miles. It's been an emotional 24 hours for folks in Winston County. Sheriff's Deputy Leon Glenn went home for lunch. It was believed that his heart gave out when he passed away yesterday. It was relationships that made Glenn well known and well liked, as our Bobby Martinez learns today.
Winston County Sheriff's Department is mourning the loss of one of their own. Deputy Leon Glenn passed away Monday afternoon following a heart attack. And Winston County Sheriff Jason Pugh says Glenn was not only a perfect example of what a deputy should represent, but one that would go above and beyond to serve and protect his community.
Leon Glenn was a tremendous law enforcement officer. He was a great deputy, and he was a great friend.
His loss felt strongly.
Really couldn't believe it. It's a very sobering thought that we're not guaranteed tomorrow, that we don't know what the Lord has in store, and that tomorrow may not be a day for us. He was one of the best friends I ever had, and I'll definitely miss him.
Glenn joined the Winston County Sheriff's Department in 1999, and since then, his upbeat personality was infectious.
He had a really positive outlook on life. He had a really happy personality. You know, he wasn't a person that was grumpy or ill. He was always in a good mood, always enjoyed talking to you, always tried to do his best wherever he went, and always tried to do his best for the public.
Pugh says Glenn was the perfect role model to the community.
Really involved in the community. He was involved in his church. He You know, Leon was a great baseball player. He was somebody that you could look up to. He was somebody that would always take time to talk to you.
And at this time, funeral arrangements are being sorted out. And as soon as more details become available, we will make sure to pass that along to you. Reporting in Winston County, Bobby Martinez, WCBI News.
Prayers in Winston County as well as Monroe County. Switching gears now, we're going to send things back to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, some beautiful skies out there this evening across
We've had
Mississippi.
some rough afternoons with the showers and storms, but it's always nice to see some color. Case in point right here, I think this was from the New Hope area this evening, that little burst of color. We've got a relatively comfortable evening in many spots, 70s, although Tupelo still hanging on to 80. Your full 7-day forecast is next. Stay tuned.
CBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
No big surprises. You probably already know where we're headed, so let's just talk about it. Scattered storms Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 88 degrees. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, crazy 8s. I am doing something here every day, folks. We are looking at some new data. Let's get away from our forecast here, talk about the tropics real quick. Still watching a potential tropical storm. This is number 9. This is still very disorganized. It doesn't have a close center with it. It is moving quickly to the west-northwest. Signs suggest that this thing will be somewhere near Florida by the weekend. Will it develop? We just don't know, but we are thinking that there's going to be some sort of upper trough that will develop across the eastern part of the country by the weekend and early next week, and most likely that would deflect whatever were to develop to our east, away from the northern Gulf Coast, and that's certainly good news for local interest, but again, this thing hasn't even developed yet. Will it hit Florida? Will it turn into a tropical storm or hurricane? We just do not know at this point, so it could develop later tonight into tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see. Our time lapse from Columbus this evening. Wow, look at all that great color. There goes the sun, and an extra burst of color, pinks and oranges and reds. Always nice to see with some of those debris clouds in the wake of the showers and storms we had. And most of the rain now done in our area. Can't rule out a few isolated showers later tonight or early tomorrow morning, but we will likely see more coverage during the heating of the day on Wednesday, but pretty benign right now. We had a few rainbows spotted. This is one earlier. Always nice to see some rainbows. I call this rainbow season, these afternoon showers. Heavy downpours, nice rainbows, nice sunsets on the backside of this activity. And for tonight, 72 degrees. Some of you could be a little bit warmer than that. Some fog certainly possible, especially if you had rain this afternoon or early this evening. We had some of that earlier today. Probably the same story tomorrow. In West Point, we start out in the 70s tomorrow. By midday and into the afternoon, pop-up showers and storms. We may peak in the upper 80s, and then once these storms find your location, you may get some downpours, some breezes. That will cool you down into the 70s. But we'll just see how it all goes here. Some mid to upper 80s expected around our region. Now, we may see a little bit of fog. I think that's what Futurecast is trying to pick up on there with that light green, maybe a little bit of mist or something there in the morning, but better chances for some of those downpours as we get into the morning, afternoon, and early evening hours. A lot of that goes away tomorrow night, and guess what? We will have more of the activity on Thursday, probably Friday, Saturday too. Elevated rain chances here for the next 4 days, upper 80s primarily, lows in the 70s. We'll lower those rain chances a little bit, get closer to 90 for Sunday and early next week, Scott.
Mississippi's First Lady is asking florists around the state to submit designs honoring healthcare workers for this year's Christmas at the Mansion. We'll have that story coming up on WCBI News.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. It may be the middle of July and the summer, but well, it's end of July. Take that back. But florists across Mississippi, they're thinking about Christmas and a contest that will honor healthcare workers through decorations at the governor's mansion. Our Allie Martin reports.
For this year's Christmas at the Governor's Mansion, First Lady Ely Reeves wants to dedicate the Christmas decorations to frontline responders and other essential workers who have been serving through COVID-19. And the First Lady is asking florists around the state to help her out. When Tara Farnham heard about the First Lady's challenge, she began brainstorming on a design for Christmas decorations that pay tribute to essential workers. It's a topic that hits close to home.
Of course, we're going to focus on healthcare. I've got my daughter that's in healthcare and lots of friends, so that's a main part of it.
The First Lady is asking florists to submit designs for Christmas at the Mansion. The only requirement is the decorations have to celebrate healthcare workers for their tireless service during the pandemic.
I just cannot imagine being on the front lines during this pandemic. I mean, they are literally putting their lives at risk for all of us. I can't imagine the long hours that they're having to put in and then going home to their families. I mean, a lot of us are either working at home or sitting at home and trying to shelter in place, and I mean, they're out there.
Kathy Mitchell is Chief Nursing Officer at Gilmore Memorial Regional Medical Center. She says all healthcare workers appreciate the recognition from the First Lady.
They have been, not just nurse or physical therapist or social worker or physician to these patients. They've been their mother and their brother and their sister and all of the family that they can't see while they're locked behind our walls.
They're really close with the patients and they take care of them day to day, and they're very close contact. So, of course that worry is there as a mom, but the pride is there also.
The deadline for submissions is Friday. Tara says she'll have hers in, and she's honored to recognize those like her daughter who are making a difference. In Amory, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
A winning design will be chosen in August. Decorations should be in place by December 1st at the Governor's Mansion. Well, we're at stop number 37 on the high school football tour. We check in with Winston Academy next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Academy Week continues on the high school football tour. For our next stop, the tour heads to Louisville to check in with the Winston Academy Patriots. Winston Academy is fresh off the team's first playoff appearance in 8 years. Now that the Patriots knows what that tastes like, the team isn't ready to give up postseason dreams anytime soon. Winston Academy is stop number 37 on the high school football tour.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour is brought to you by Itawamba Community College, Cannon Ford of Starkville, Monroe County Farm Bureau, Max South Broadband, and the Bank of Vernon.
For some, a 3-win season might not seem like much. However, 2019's 3-win season marked the first time in 8 years that Winston Academy had been playoff bound. As the Patriots head into 2020, the team wants to build towards even more success.
We were able to get in the playoffs for the first time in 8 years, and that was a big deal for us. And it ended at Natchez Cathedral quicker than we wanted it to, but the kids got a taste of it, so hopefully that'll propel us.
I think we got a lot of guys that are bought in. We shocked a lot of people last year. We're just hoping to improve on that, hopefully win our first playoff game in a couple of years.
It really boosts our confidence. Looking forward to getting back to the playoffs this year.
The Patriots return 11 seniors, most of which will serve as starters. As far as experience goes, Winston Academy sure isn't lacking. However, Coach Bird is focusing on the depth of his team in order to sustain success week after week.
You've got, a core group of 14 to 20 kids that have to play all night long. And can you get some depth out of your young guys and rest them on special teams? That's going to be a big deal for us. A lot of times you masquerade depth. A kid may have to be a backup at 2 different positions. And, that can be difficult, especially early when it's warm.
I feel like a lot of our younger guys are on the same level as our older guys. I feel like they're just a good motivator and a good pusher for the upperclassmen.
After last season's playoff push, the Patriots are looking to be playoff bound once again. Something that seems more attainable now that the Patriots have the experience under their belt.
I think it gives you a more realistic goal instead of something you just see that you want to reach out and touch. Now you've actually done it. Do we have the will to be able to push through and go another level? We'll see.
I want us to win our first playoff game in a long time. And I want to just shock the fans and people from other schools, and just show that we have a chance of doing what we want to do.
It might not be easier. We're still going to have to push real hard, but I think we'll have that extra confidence.
Winston Academy looks to start the season off strong against Leake Academy on August 21st.
Last year when we played Leake in the opening game, they kind of took us out of the game really early with a couple of big plays. And I want to see us be able to respond. When something bad happens, when some adversity hits, can we do what we got to do and keep it a football game? Don't let it get out of hand.
With the Patriots on the high school football tour, Courtney Robb, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour with Winston Academy is brought to you by Winston Plywood and Veneer and Tabor Drugs.
That's it for sports. More for you when we come back after the break.
Hey, it's late July, and this weekend is actually the first part of August. Can you believe it? Just a few more days left in July. This is what we have this time of year, folks. Pop-up showers and storms, some heavy downpours, thunder, and lightning. No real active weather overall, but there will be some rain around, and that's what we have, Scott. I'm running out of things to talk about.
Hey, it's just that time of year, but hey, it's not, like 100 degrees.
It's at 1,000 degrees,
so
and the heat
we'll
index is not as bad as it could be.
Exactly. So, we'll take any little break we can
Small
get.
victories,
for sure.
as they
Exactly.
say.
Ooh, I like it. Thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.